Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here with a New Year's update for you. I'm reading from Matthew chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. And when Jesus had been baptized, just as he came up from the water, suddenly the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, the Beloved, with whom I am well pleased." This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. This Sunday, I know we just had Christmas, and it's Epiphany is this week. We celebrated it last Sunday. This coming Sunday, we are celebrating the baptism of the Lord. This part of the year goes by so fast in the life of Jesus. If you remember that our Christian year begins with Advent, and it follows the life of Christ, really. It starts with this waiting for, longing for, preparing for Jesus. And then Jesus comes, and then there's not a lot of childhood for Jesus. And then we move into his life and ministry and the ways that we grow and live and have our being because of Jesus. So we are celebrating baptism of the Lord this coming Sunday, and I hope that you will remember your baptism. And that can mean so many different things, right? Sometimes it involves our actual memory, right? Some of us remember our baptism because we have real memories of our baptism. So if that is you, that is wonderful. And I hope that you will stir those memories up and allow them to be real for you, and for you to reflect on how those memories feed your life day after day after day. For a lot of us, if we were baptized, a lot of us were baptized when we were too young to have those real memories. I was baptized when I was just a few months old, and so I don't have the actual memories, but I have other memories. I have ways to remember it by looking at pictures and asking other people, and I have a baptism certificate, and I have things that help me remember pieces of that day and that event. But what I have then is a task of remembering it today. So, and this is true for all of us, whether we have the actual memories or not, is to put together that event with the existence that we have day after day after day. How does our baptism, it's meant to impact our lives every day, all the time. We are meant to live as baptized people who are God's beloved, God's chosen sons, daughters, children. We are meant to know and hear that God is pleased with us day after day after day, and live into that reality, live into that, the fullness of that. We are invited to live in the covenant of God saying yes to us and us saying yes back to God. So I invite us all to make this alive, a living memory for us. Again, whether we have the actual memories or not, what is it to remember our baptism today, in this moment, and to live into it a little more fully? So this coming Sunday, we're going to have a renewal of baptism, a remembrance of our baptism, and I invite all of you who have been baptized to, again, feel these memories, renew them in yourself. If you have not been baptized, or if you are aware of someone around you at church on Sunday who hasn't been baptized, this is an invitation to baptism and an invitation to accepting and living in to that, yes, that chosenness of God, that belovedness that is available to all of us. So if you haven't looked recently about what the details of your baptism, I invite you to do that. And some of you may not know what your baptism story is, and this is an opportunity, an invitation for you to learn a little more about it, where it happened, when it happened, who was there, who was the baptizer, who was the pastor, who baptized you, what were the circumstances that led to that being the day of your baptism? These are all good things to carry with us as we seek to do that remembering. I also want to invite you to, if you were not worshiping with us this past week, I know New Year's Day is a tough day to worship, but of course that worship service is online and you're welcome to go back and look. But I also wanted to share with you one of the things that we did in worship this past Sunday is we shared star words. This may be backwards for you, I don't know. But this is an example of one of our star words. We had some different words available to worshipers. And the idea is that I didn't make this up. This is something that is kind of I don't know how long the tradition's been around, but this is one of those things that several churches do on Epiphany Sunday, or the Sunday after the New Year. And the idea is that we are invited to receive a gift of a word of intention for the year, a word that becomes part of our prayer life, a word of contemplation and reflection. It is this opportunity to notice God through a new lens, through a particular lens, and you can do this in any sort of way that works for you. It's just an invitation to kind of have a focus for the year. I talked to several people who received their words. Again, we just kind of made them available, and people chose words blindly without looking to see what the word was for the most part. And it was interesting to see how people quickly had a connection to what was on the star. There's something sort of mystical about this, something sort of full of wonder and interest, and it's just an opportunity to play with a word and a concept and see how it interacts with our life, see how God intersects with all of this as well, and invites us into a new space. So if you would like a star word and haven't gotten one, then you can contact the church office and Tyler will get you a word. We can just send you the word itself. We can also send you the star that has the word on it. So everybody gets a different word, and there are lots to choose from. So I invite you into that. And lastly, I wanted to share that we are starting a new worship series this Epiphany. We talked about it some last week too, but we'll dive more deeply into it over the next several weeks. It's about curiosity. Are you curious? And it's an invitation to us to just let our thoughts and our wonderings and our questions, even our doubts, kind of come out and play a little bit. I know that in some parts of our Christian tradition, this is not terribly welcome, that our curiosities and our questions are met with kind of suspicion, perhaps, and we want to kind of offer an alternative to that. In the United Methodist Church, we are part of the Wesleyan tradition, and part of that tradition is that we have brains. God gave us this gift of our intelligence and our thinking mind, and that we get to fully engage that in our faith. And so part of what that means is asking questions, is letting the things that we wonder about, whether it's wonderings about the Bible or God or ourselves or the world that God created, to all come out. And sometimes that comes out as curiosity. Sometimes that comes out as doubt. Those two things aren't all that far apart from each other, I think. And so we come with all of this. And so we're going to play and have some different looks at this. So I encourage you to have your questions and to invite you to ask them and to exchange information and thoughts and ideas, wonderings with each other around this. So we're going to give you some ways to do this over the next few weeks. And I hope that we can explore and play and invite each other into our curiosity so that it deepens us more into our faith and into connection with one another and with God as well. So may we love God with our minds, may we love God with all of our experiences, and may we be curious. So I invite you and am excited to journey with you on this path over the next several weeks. All right, friends, Happy New Year. It's such a good thing to be on this journey with you. I am deeply blessed by it, and I'm excited for another year to be in ministry with you. Know that you were created for joy. Know that we are enough because God is enough, because we are God's beloved, not because we earned it, but simply because it is the way it is. God has declared it so, and so we receive that belovedness and that love, responding with joy to all of God's grace. I look forward to worshiping with you soon or engaging with you in other ways, and be blessed. Bye.